Captain's Log, Supplemental. I am done with the remains and intend to move on. The only use this served was replenishing our reserves. I have it on good authority the sub is 4 weeks away at high impulse, so I have decided to move 100 kilometers away and watch the fireworks, as the satellite of unrequited love initiates an exterminatus. Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter. Today we're going to start with, well, Twitter. Yeah, their official account. 58 million followers. I am not one of them. Where they've tweeted out something that actually coincides quite handily with a regular complaint many users have with the site. One of the biggest complaints many have with the site is that, not the cancer part, but because of a lack of edit button, they are forced to either continue with the tweet with an error within it, or delete the tweet and retry. An edit button would make things a lot simpler, as many sites offer that facility. In fact, I would go so far as to say all of them but Twitter, because Twitter are apparently lazy. So they tweeted out, "You can have an edit button when everyone wears a mask." Nice troll, but why don't you just give us the damn edit button instead? And it's very thoughtful to encourage people to wear a mask, but in truth, much like when my nieces refuse to eat their dinner, I don't negotiate with terrorists. At present, things are rather difficult for those living within Hong Kong, and I genuinely feel sorry for them and hope that the offer of either repatriation or somehow that law that China introduced is abolished happens. I want nothing more than for Hong Kong to remain autonomous, because honestly, they have succeeded because of that separation. People who are native to that country or have family there are rightly dismayed by what has been going on. Within the sphere of social commentary, the most prominent speaker would be Lauren Chen, who has family in Hong Kong, heritage too, saying, "When I think about Hong Kong for too long, I start crying," which led to Vadim Newquist, the creator of the Creationist Cat channel, God's favourite feline, to say when they start thinking of you, they probably cry too. What I didn't expect was for Lauren Chen to notice that. She is quite a big channel, quite a big Twitter user. But she did notice, and she bit, and she layeth the smacketh downeth. As funny as it is to crack jokes at those we disagree with fundamentally, in the case of Vadim disagreeing with Lauren, on a whole plethora of political issues, this is quite a sensitive one. So perhaps instead of being edgy for the sake of being edgy, you don't. And you instead feel the room, Vadim. It's not difficult. Although since you didn't reply to her, I can safely assume you learnt your lesson fast. It turns out she has a bite. So this next little instalment of This Week at Twitter comes courtesy of Americans That Ruin Everything. This is an obvious joke. Please learn to take one. We have Styx Hexenhammer that thinks macaroni cheese, or macaroni and cheese, requires ketchup. Might I recommend you replace it, since your taste buds are clearly balked from the offset, with cat feces. And then to Trez Silverwolf, who gave us some food porn, but in the process defiled the food porn. You're lucky I don't block Trez and Styx, because of course it's a complete and utter privilege to follow me. I'm kidding, it's not. But I should say, for the sake of it, my report history, much like on YouTube, is clean. I don't block. I have done it to a mate a few times, but I've unblocked them instantly straight after for posting cursed images. Think Sailor Moon and myself merged. Not happy. Owing to a recent number of channels that have been hit by demonetization, where even though their videos were checked as green by YouTube themselves manually, Ethan Klein put out a tweet after a little investigation and collected a list of names of channels that have been hit by demonetization unfairly. This would include Nick de Oreo, Grade A Underay, Sinatra, The Drunken Peasants, Irate Alex, Count Dankula. The list does in fact go on. Well, Ethan Klein used his power, his very considerable power on this platform, to fix that for the majority of those creators he has on his list. Proof of that is that Irate Alex himself tweeted out a thanks because he got his monetization back. Even Count Dankula got monetization back for the videos that met monetization standards, which is a huge step in the right direction, because a lot of these creators deserve to be monetized for the hard work they put in. The subjective terms of ad-friendly is rather tricky at the best of times. Sadly though, not all were able to get it back. Sinatra is one of those. It is my firm hope in the future many creators like Sinatra get monetization back, but until then I do hope people continue to support creators like Sinatra, as the threat of being demonetized is very real for a lot of creators, myself included, and it is an unfair stress to have when it is entirely based on standards that are nebulous. If anyone remembers Nicole Arbour, congratulations, you remember those rather cringy YouTube videos that were supposedly comedy, that were simultaneously not funny. Well, she's put out a tweet of a side-by-side from two separate tweets put out by CNN, showing that how in one instance they believed hydroxychloroquine was bad because President Trump takes it, concerning statements he also made with regards to hydroxychloroquine, only to then flip-flop on the drug and praise some of the work it has managed to do in better helping patients survive in hospital. I'm going to flay Nicole Arbour though for a little. It's all well and good taking screen caps of two separate tweets. It really is fine. But what really helps paint the point and make sure that people can then trace it properly is if you include the date of the tweet as well. I did bother to go find the tweets, it only took a moment. The first one is from the 11th of April 2020 and the second from July the 3rd. A little intellectual honesty would go a long way, Nicole Arbour, and CNN flip-flopping is hardly a surprise for anyone. Last week, as many of you will remember, I put out an exhibition of stupid people on Andy Warski. The entire point of that video was to summarise Andy's time on YouTube within the space of 30 minutes. I refrained from using clips because it was harder to find the ones I wanted to use, but also because I wanted the video to stay green, which it is. Yay. Understandably, at some point I was expecting someone to notice it though. Andy Warski did, and will now do the random block of the week. Andy Warski blocked me. Cool. Ethan Ralph of the Killstream decided to tweet to me about this, pointing out that I was a bit dishonest when it came to Andy's DLive viewership, which he's correct to point out and offer correction. Thank you for doing that, Ethan. I greatly appreciate it. I'm not entirely sure why what you make a month is of any use to me. It is hardly a pissing contest. But it's nice to see the mentality of someone having a weird flex at an odd moment, because apparently I'm supposed to give a damn. But okay, you make more money. Cool. Now what? Others, in doing so, didn't know who I was. That's quite alright. I wouldn't expect you to. Gator, I believe a host of the Killstream in fact, others would say bootlicker for Ethan, decided to do what I expect everyone to do, and that's compare me to the right opinion. Allow me to ensure that I'm nothing like him. I put out very regular content on my own and quite frankly get nowhere near the views he gets. Tro has a team of people working with him to produce absolutely spiffing content. We are nothing alike. We are both English, yes, that is all though. An accent is not an indicator of similarity, and as far as format goes, there is no similarity in our formats because his is eye-capturing, captivating, capturing, one or the other, possibly both, and mine is boring, monotonous droning. Ah, I know how to introspect, I know. As everyone will undoubtedly be aware of by now, Kanye West has decided to run for President of the United States of America. After a little digging, someone found a tweet, this tweet, where somebody had in fact predicted this could happen, because they want to watch the world burn. I want to see this too. I want to see the debates. It's fantastic, and I love a little foresight. It's quite amusing. But moving on from that, I want to talk about cancel culture. A number of people have been going out of their way to say that cancel culture isn't a thing. On one hand, you have India Moore, in one sense asking to report J.K. Rowling, and in the same sense, say cancel culture does not exist. To support that, we have Owen Jones, who also denies the existence of cancel culture, to which somebody did correctly point out to him that it wasn't long ago he was asking for statements confirming that the Deputy Director of External Affairs and International Strategy has been fired by the end of the day. I like that no one seems to believe cancel culture is a thing. I don't agree with cancel culture, but I'm very much aware it exists. People denying its existence are usually those that themselves have asked for somebody to be fired, asked for them to be deplatformed, asked for them to be removed from a site, banned. arrested. The list does go on. Owen Jones is one of those people who has endorsed and promoted cancel culture. Many have, in fact. It's quite sad and silly now that people are turning in on themselves and denying its existence. It's almost like they're having some kind of existential crisis, and then have found a way to rationalize it by simply moving the goalpost 1 centimeter to the left. Anyway, as with all things we cover on this channel and in this series, I'd love to know what you think the stupidest thing was. Please do let me know in the comments down below. Tonight I'm doing a political recap stream with Trups LP. If I don't see you there, have a fantastic Friday and subsequent weekend, and thank you all for listening.